Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another James Talks About the NFL. And coincidentally enough, Thanksgiving has given me my the last two topics to talk about here on this channel. This video and the last one. The last video, if you guys didn't watch, was about the origin of the NFL on Thanksgiving Day, and I, my friends, was very, very ecstatic whenever I finished that. I thought that was the best football nerd I had ever made. I was just so excited that the way that turned out. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about something that happened on Thanksgiving Day. No, it is not Dak Prescott's 10th consecutive win, although that sets a Dallas record. That would be newsworthy, but I don't like the Cowboys as much as the Lions, the team I'm going to be talking about. And I feel like the Lions one would definitely be well more received by more people because Dallas may be America's team, but they are arguably America's most hated team. But yes, without further ado, let's get into the topic I have for you today. So, it is about the Detroit Lions, and if you watched the game on Thanksgiving, or at least the final few minutes, I mean, I watched a good half of the game because because I was helping out with Thanksgiving dinner, preparing that, and I was also tired, so I took a nap. But that's that just doesn't matter. What does matter is that I did watch the part that I did to talk about this. So the Lions were down like 13-10 with like 2 or 3 minutes to go in the game. They get into field goal range, and then they just kind of sputter and stall out. And then they kick a field goal with like a minute to go. So the Vikings, which their opponent was the Minnesota Vikings, and I thought that the Vikings were just going to take it to overtime and have it be decided there. But no, they just went the aggressive route and just had. And Sam Bradford threw an interception while he was throwing it to a wide receiver I can't remember the name of. I'm sorry. But it was picked off by Darius Slay, the Lions cornerback, like the 25-yard line. Maybe he was throwing it to Cordell Patterson. I don't think so. I just can't remember exactly. But yes, so the Lions won the game 16-13 and took control of the NFC North with a 7-4 record, which is their best since 2013 when they won on Thanksgiving Day, when they pounded the Packers, whenever they led the division then. But they didn't win a game that season after Thanksgiving, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. So it's a Lions fans, I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to jinx it for you. Okay? Let's just say that you've got 5 games to go to prove yourself. Let's just go with that. Okay, so my point is that the Lions came back and won, as you can guess by now. And I mentioned that they were, and I mentioned that they're 7-4 just a couple of seconds ago. Which all 7 of those Sorry. But all seven of those wins have come when they've come from behind to win the game, just like on Thanksgiving. Whenever they've been down in the fourth quarter, but they have found a way to win. And might I say that I admire that because champions find a way to respond in the face of adversity. It's like it's like the whole Lions offense just suddenly flips a switch and gets better in the fourth quarter whenever the other team has a lead. Just as the commentators were saying whenever Minnesota kicked that go-ahead field goal to go up 13-10, Jim Nantz and Phil Simms, I think, had the call. They were saying how the Lions are in their comfort zone, and I was thinking, yeah, they are. And even their four losses have been within 7 point, uh, within 7 points. So their largest margin of defeat or victory was the was just 6 days ago, which they beat Jacksonville by 7. That's it. That's their largest margin of victory or defeat. They've won by 4 points, 3 points, 6 points. Just found a way to win. And I admire that. And Matthew Stafford won Comeback Player of the Year in 2011, which back then I thought that the award was, you come back in a certain game to enough and you get that. But I didn't know that was for injured players. I was only 12 at the time. I mean, you can't. I mean, I didn't know as much as I do at 12 as I do now. maybe it. Maybe if there's no injured player that came back that played really well, then that might be the case. But yes, every single one of the Lions' victories, every single one of the 7 have come from behind. And the Lions are the comeback kings. I don't know how they manage it. But, whoo, it is just fantastic. Uh, I mean, I'm not a Lions fan, but my mom is a Lions fan. And she says that she's gotten nervous. And I'm a Panther fan, and I'm going to bring that up because I'm going to make a comparison. Now, I don't mean to make this comparison in terms of talent or where this team went in the postseason and try to say that the Lions are going to go this far in the postseason, but I'm going to compare it in terms of the victories and how they were achieved to the 2003 Carolina Panthers Cardiac Kids. Those guys just found a way to win, and oh my gosh, I know some Panther fans that it just grew some gray hairs on them. I mean, you don't see any gray hairs on me, but goodness gracious, that bunch was just fantastic. And I'm not trying to compare the Lions' talent and say they have more talent or less talent, or that the Lions are going to go to the Super Bowl like they did, or win their division like the Panthers did that year. But just the way that those two teams found a way to win, just, oh my gosh, this Lions team reminds me of the Cardiac Kids so much. Can we call them the Comeback Cats? I mean, Cardiac Kids has already been taken by the Panthers, but can we call them the Comeback Cats? Would the Panthers, Jaguars, and Bengals be offended if we call them the comeback cats? Or the live out your lives Lions? I don't know. You guys try to figure out a name to call the Lions this year. I am. I mean, I will be pretty interested to read your comments and what you guys come up with. Because I think some of you are more creative than I am at home and can come up with some better ones. But yes, that will. But yes, I do believe that that will do it for this football nerd video. And until the next football nerd video, which will come out on Monday, I will see you all later. Goodbye, guys. Thank you all for watching, and go Panthers.